So this is just a random scan we pulled up in the lab. I've already gone through the process of repairing this, planing it off, so we've got a nice flat base. But I want to remove these brackets because we're gonna make a thorough appliance to deliver when the brackets come off. So what we do is we're gonna go into the sculpting feature on the left-hand side, and the sculpting feature brings up basically this is like Photoshop for CAD CAM. We need to go to the brushes tab, and there's a lot of cool stuff we can do here, and we'll go over just a couple of them. But the main one we want, if we're trying to remove brackets, is the shrink and smooth. So what that's going to do is that is going to take whatever you are highlighting, and it's going to push it down to the average layer. And so that's going to be the average layer here is the labial surface of the tooth. I'm going to bring the size of the tool down a little bit. I'm going to bring the strength of the tool up a little bit. And so when I left click on this, you're just going to watch these brackets melt away. So I'm just going to do these for everything, and it melts away the excess glue around the bracket. And you'll get a little bit of a projection where the tie wings were, but in a thorough style retainer, that's not going to cause any kind of problems. So we'll go to this guy. I'll make a comment here. When removing brackets, the hardest thing to deal with is this. When you've got gingival tissue and bracket interfacing, the software and technicians are only as good as what they can see. So if you've got no tooth structure, gingival or apical to the bracket, it's pure guessing what that looks like. So if you're working with a lab and they're removing brackets and you're having fit issues, it very well could be due to excess gingival tissue and removing too much structure digitally. Therefore, you're creating a negative on that file and the retainer won't fit. It's one of the more frustrating things to deal with on the lab side and the clinical side when a retainer doesn't fit. So at this point in time, this is ready to go, and we can export this. If we wanted to label this model, which MeshMixer doesn't have a great way to label, but you can draw on there. So I can draw, and I can make this really very, very small. And let's say I just wanted to put my initials, draw C, draw G. So that would allow me to identify this when it comes off the printer. You can put it in an area where you're not going to affect the appliance fit at all. There are better ways to label, which we're going to get into in just a second.